since you prompted me.
Yeah.
You are seeking to be an IEBC commissioner. And you are saying here that the IEBC has never explained this server thing. Any reason why you think IEBC commissioners have never come out to demystify this server, yet it's a constant in every other presidential election? One would think that in their evaluation report, that's one of the things that they should be talking about, yet they never seek to demystify. Any reasons why that come to your mind, why they would not want to demystify it?
In looking at the systems of IEBC and the fact that the voting is decided at the polling station, and having been an observer and whose work was to tour the polling stations and see the activities there, I don't understand. If those processes are well done, then why would have an issue with the server? If the server receives the forms that have been sent, the A series that have been sent from the polling stations, then I don't understand why it's a mystery. So I wonder why they have not taken time to explain themselves, to go to the media also, invite themselves to the media and explain. Because people still think there's a mystery about the server. But if the server was receiving what was coming from the polling stations, which also was put in the public portal. So what is this mystery about the server that is not being explained?
That's exactly what disturbs me.
Yes. So
can you look at Kenyans in the eye and say that I, Dr. John Kilonzo, when I become an IEBC commissioner, the first thing I'll do is convince my fellow commissioners.
Yes.
To offer them.
Exactly. Because I would think I would go to the ICT department, because I know we have competent people there. Yeah. Then they would try to explain those technical terms and then put it in a simple language that the people can digest. And then we finish up with this issue.
Very well. Following on that, what would Kilonzo Mudhama, what specific strategies would Mudhama implement to ensure that the IEBC remains an independent and impartial body in the face of external pressures?
I think one of the issues is that for IEBC to be able to execute its mandate properly, I am convinced that it should also be well funded. This issue where we talk about the ICA fund, I think it should be, or rather, it should be taken into consideration, and the funds should be made available. Because that's also one aspect of it being independent. Because when you are so much dependent on financing from the Treasury, and the financing is coming in bits, then sometimes the activities that you are supposed to carry will not happen. And then again, issues about civic education, engaging the stakeholders, just wanting to ensure that explaining why you must be independent, explaining why that IEBC should carry out its activities above board, because it is important to secure this country. Because IEBC, the role that it plays in making sure that we have leaders in place, it is very critical. And if that process is done and they are done in a credible manner, then of course the end result is that we have credible leaders who will take our country to the next level. We also know Kenya has a standing in Africa, and we should not be some of the countries that are being talked about failed elections, about election or post-election violence and such. So generally, if you secure the funding, and I also explained to all the members, of course, if we're using the Committee for Parliamentary Liaison Committee, talk to our leaders and understand why we need to do our jobs be above board without any interference. Then I think that if that sinks, then we will be independent, we'll be able to carry out our duties the best way possible. And especially looking at the election cycle. be able to tick the boxes, and in good time. They should not be hurrying. Like now we have boundaries delimitation, which has lagged behind just because of some things that was not done right. Thank you.
Very well. My last question. I was listening keenly to you as you answered the questions by my colleague Bore as an accounting officer. And I thought you are really giving a blow-by-blow account of what happened, which basically is about transparency, accountability, and so on.
Yes.
What strategies were you to become a commissioner would you implement to foster a culture of integrity, ethical compliance, and internal accountability within the IEBC Secretariat? I say this because there are always questions of chicken gate, of tenders, whether it's to Otimofo or to who. There's always a lot of intrigues around not only tendering, but even when the other day the Secretariat, in the absence of the commissioners, did what they had to do and gave us 62 billion budget, the whole country was like, what would you do?
Yeah, I think when it comes to budgeting, I know we have itemized budgeting, where when you talk about 62 billion, it is broken down to items, and all the items are costed. So at least that figure should be accounted for because of the itemizing of, or rather, it is itemized budget. And we have laws in this country. We have the procurement law, that is Procurement Disposal Act. And one thing that I've realized, if the law is well thought out and if well implemented, then I think we'll solve a lot of these problems. They have given you the various methods of procurement, the most transparent being an open tender. If you have to procure anything, people apply. And in most cases of the technical evaluation, you look at the lowest bidder. If he has the ability, then he's given. So if we were to follow the procedures of procurement and do it well, then we'll get the right person to deliver this without any interference. Kenyans are known to want those schemes of get rich fast. So I think also to look at the integrity of the person. Are you having a rush to get public money and get rich because of the position you hold? The best thing would be let's administer these laws, and also those who have some questionable character, then they should be dealt with in according to the law. Because again, we must have that integrity, that we get the right people, value for money for Kenyans, because it is said that elections in Kenya is extremely expensive. Why is it so? Then those are the issues that we look at, so that we can bring the cost down. Because, when you factor in corruption, that's when now the cost also skyrockets, because other issues have been considered, which should not have been considered. And that's why I'm insisting on itemized by budget, where you are able to argue so that the right items are captured. And, of course, the issue will be how do we make our elections less expensive.
What do you say, now they are talking of itemized budgets, what do you say to a phenomenon that is now common in Kenya, known as budgeted corruption? That a bake, you already say one bake will cost 30 shillings in the budget, yet you know that the actual price will be 10.
Yeah, now that is exactly what we need to do. We need to be honest with ourselves and look at we call it market survey, because when you are planning about issues like in Machakos, when maybe we were procuring, there was the vocational training centers were being given a conditional grant, and sometimes when you are floating the tenders, you have to go to the market and get the market price, so that whatever the quotations are, they don't exceed the market price. So I think that's needs to be done. There should be that integrity there, that you have done market surveys and you itemize according to the market prices, so that you don't budget for corruption.